start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff of the space.
In our natural pursuit of knowledge, space has always mystified and beguiled us. Over the past 5 decades, we've pushed the final frontier inevitably onward into the ether. The cost has been colossal. Now every day, new data, new conclusions, and the thirst for deeper exploration propel us inexorably onward. The advantages of the discoveries made through space travel are myriad, but the fundamental curiosity as to what is out there will always fascinate and taunt us. Come with us now into the unknown and discover the disappearing frontier. In this edition of Disappearing Frontier, we're taking you on a shuttle mission to recover an astronaut from Mir and return to Earth. Outer space, both real and fictional, is investigated. And you'll take the fastest journey imaginable over California. If you've ever wondered what it must be like to go on a real space mission, this just might be the closest you'll ever get. This is the story of Space Shuttle Discovery's flight STS-91. Join these 6 intrepid astronauts as they truly venture where few have ever traveled. The first stage of any mission is the strap-in phase. Due to the sheer volume of systems that need to be checked, strap-in takes place some 3.5 hours before scheduled takeoff. Astronaut comfort rates just as highly as safety in this phase, as it will be some time before the weightlessness of space can be enjoyed. Just before launch, the walkway has moved away. 6 seconds prior to SRV ignition, the main engines are lit. Once engines are checked as all go, massive solid fuel boosters are ignited and the shuttle takes off. The astronaut's view, even though it's still of the Earth, is already quite novel. In its battle to escape the Earth's gravitational pull, the shuttle and the astronauts inside experience over 3 million kilos of thrust under the drive of the booster rockets. By the time the boosters detach from the shuttle some 2 minutes into the flight, mission STS-91 will have burned off half of its mass. At this stage, the shuttle is traveling at 13 times the speed of sound. Shortly after entering orbit, payload bay doors are opened as this is critical for cooling. A tremendous amount of heat was generated leaving the Earth's atmosphere. This needs to be dissipated as quickly as possible to minimize interference or even damage to scientific instruments being carried by the shuttle. Once on orbit, an internal hatch is opened that links the shuttle to Spacelab, a space-based experimental laboratory. This mission saw several new radiation experiments as well as communications experiments undertaken. Part of the scientific payload was the Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer, a high-energy particle physics experiment with a goal to detect antimatter in the deeper reaches of space. One of the primary objectives of the mission was to rendezvous and dock with Russia's Mir space station, and eventually return with American astronaut Andy Thomas. The ring, seen here to the left of center of screen, is Mir's docking portal. A similar docking port exists in the payload bay of Shuttle Discovery. The careful docking procedure is followed by stringent pressure checks before communicating hatches are unlocked. Then, of course, it's a great time for old friends and colleagues to catch up. For the American astronauts, this mission was a rare opportunity to experience the technology and equipment of another country's space exploration efforts. And some snacks along the way were always appreciated. Though only brief, all the astronauts came together early on for a press conference with media organizations back on Earth. Then it was down to the real work of transferring the thousands of kilos of material to the space station. Not only did the movement of packages have to be quick and efficient, it had to be catalogued down to the last detail to ensure the Mir was delivered all the appropriate stores and equipment to last it several more months in space. But like all missions that run to a tight schedule, flight STS-91 came to an end all too soon for the astronauts. Gifts were exchanged, as were embraces. For the astronauts aboard Mir, it would be a very long time before any new faces would be seen again. And when the hatches came to be closed, understandably, it was done with some hesitation. Now, for the original crew of astronauts aboard Discovery's flight STS-91, together with their new passenger, it was a case of checking all systems were go before separating from Mir and finally returning home. The final separation was a slow and systematic operation, requiring all Discovery's crew to be on hand in the flight deck to ensure maximum safety. The initial rate of departure was a conservative 5 centimeters per second. Once at a distance of approximately 70 meters, the Discovery initiated prearranged maneuvering procedures around Mir. The return journey also gave the astronauts a chance to test run the shuttle's new robotic arm. The improved arm construction was an initiative to help deal with the bulkier equipment expected on the International Space Station. During the mission, the robotic arm was also used to assess a minor water leak on the starboard side of the shuttle. The danger, which was later cleared, would have been the presence of large icicles that could have damaged the craft on re-entry. Sunrise and sunset is even more beautiful from space, and in orbit it takes place every 45 minutes. Naturally, Earth watching was a popular pastime for astronauts when off duty. Favorite game was trying to locate one's home. The blue planet from this point of view is certainly a beautiful sight, and the realization that the globes we studied as children were correct is a comforting reassurance. Of course, life on board was somewhat of a social event. Meals were prepared in the galley and shared around. Pass the sugar, please. Exercise was important to maintain some level of fitness in the microgravity of space. And even experiments in fluid dynamics could be fun in space. What was that we learned about surface tension? Andy Thomas is seen here continuing an experiment he started on Mir. He was growing tumorous cells with a long-range view to developing more effective medicines in the fight against cancer. Various combustion experiments were also conducted. A fire extinguisher was present just in case things got out of hand. As can be seen here, a flame in space has unique properties that can't be witnessed under the full gravitational effects of Earth. On the day before re-entry, all systems were checked over thoroughly once again. Of course, these people are astronauts, and the exhaustive training prior to their mission comes into practice both in the lab and the flight deck. Much like the head-up display on any modern aircraft, the shuttles gives the pilot information about speed, altitude, approach angle, and runway information. At a height of approximately 150 meters, the landing gear was lowered. Touchdown occurred at a speed of some 200 knots. And the drag chute was deployed that would bring the Discovery to an eventual halt, see the end of another highly successful mission. On behalf of the captain and crew, we hope you enjoyed your flight and that you'll choose to fly shuttle when you next venture into space. Year after year, as man's collective knowledge grows, his capacity to reach further into the universe, his ability to understand and control the forces of nature, and his know-how in devising the tools to make his life comfortable have only increased. But as he casts his mind on all that he's achieved, questions of where and when life began continue to challenge him. Well may science fiction authors postulate life on other planets, because it's the scientific community that is endeavoring to prove it, and the answers are coming from the skies. There are meteorites that have landed on Earth from outer space, some with a history dating back 4.5 billion years, and they're being found in relatively large numbers in Antarctica. Literally tens of thousands have been collected from the icy wasteland over the years, and considering only around 2,000 specimens existed in total before the Antarctic discoveries, the cache has been a scientific boom. Meteorites are actually small fragments from an asteroid belt that might have helped form a planet. So here in these frozen conditions is some of the oldest material in the solar system, some of the same material that went into the makeup of Earth. By studying meteorites, scientists hope to find the answers to two very fundamental questions. Is there life beyond Earth? And what are the processes that led to life on Earth? Cornerstone of the investigations was the search for organic compounds known as amino acids within the meteorites. Amino acids are the building blocks of life on Earth, and as it was discovered, also exist in the Antarctic meteorites. Importantly, These newly discovered organic compounds were different from any found in living organisms on Earth. Could it have been that the meteorites were the seeds that sowed life throughout the universe? Many scientists now ascribe to this theory. Man's investigation of space, indeed his investigation of life itself, has been an outward-looking one. But with the gathering of meteorites from across the face of our planet, scientists have been able to unlock the door to a myriad of secrets our universe has kept hidden for millions of years. Could it be that one day we'll discover exactly how life came to be? In hope, our answer must be yes. But until then, we can only look to the stars and wait. Following computer simulation of a high-speed flight around the Los Angeles vicinity was produced to demonstrate a capability of scientific data visualization. The entire animation was produced from one Landsat satellite image from 950 kilometers that was merged with digital elevation information. This is Los Angeles, California. We're traveling toward the Pacific Ocean at about 300,000 kilometers per hour and will drop down behind Santa Catalina Island about 40 kilometers off the coast of Los Angeles. We're flying through the isthmus of the island and then cross to the coast north of the Santa Monica Mountains. As we head down south, we can see features like Marina del Rey and LA International Airport. There's the Long Beach Harbor and now the Orange County area. The bow tie features are Balboa and Lido Islands on Newport Bay. In the center of screen is downtown LA. And now we're over Hollywood and Beverly Hills as we move into the San Fernando Valley. You'll see a V-shaped lake appear. That's Castaic Lake. We'll now turn and fly directly down the Rift Valley of the San Andreas Fault. We're crossing the East Fork of the San Gabriel Mountains and will turn around and face those same mountains when we lose elevation into the Pomona Valley area. At the top right of screen is Mount Baldy. As we pan the San Gabriel Mountains, we can note in the foreground the Santa Fe Dam and recreation area, the Santa Anita Racetrack and golf course. And that little white donut is the Rose Bowl. Again, we hope you enjoyed your trip.